That's weird. Where the hell is this Khajiit at? Nope. That was ominous. I see a rat. There he is. Get out of here. Well, no Khajiit over here. I don't see a Khajiit anywhere. Did say the underworks, right? Addhiranirr will be hiding in the underworks. Huh. Is there... Where the hell else? She wasn't in the shrine. Alright, well let's go back this way. Okay, there's that. Well, canal works. Am I in the wrong? No, I've got to be in the right place. Nobody over here. Wait, let me... never heard of her. Khajiit. She'll be here in St. Olms. Okay, so... Where the fuck is she? Oh, wait.
You want something?
Yeah, I do want something. Great, so Caius says to you, speak with Addhiranirr, and you have done this thing. You are speaking with Addhiranirr, but Addhiranirr will not talk to you about the Nerevarine or the Sixth House cult, and because why? Because Addhiranirr is, at the moment, very distracted by a nice census and excise agent, who also wants to speak with her. I see. You do not know this? They are the collectors of the Emperor's taxes and tariffs, and the Emperor has outlawed trade in many things, like Dwemer artifacts and ebony, and a census and excise agent will enjoy being a pest about such things. For several reasons, a census and excise agent is not Addhiranirr's favorite person. If you want Addhiranirr to help you, make this bad agent go away. Then she will tell you things. Aha. I think that's probably the first guy I talked to. Alright. Be right back, Addhiranirr. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay, return. Let's take this torch out of my hand. So he was up in the wasteworks. Okay, so right there is the one I want to go find her easily. Huh. Bizarre. So he was... Not you. That guy.
I'm listening.
Hey there. Yes, as I said, I'm looking for a friend of mine, a female Khajiit named Addhiranirr. I thought you might be able to tell me where to find her. Yes, her name is Addhiranirr, and she's a Khajiit. Do you know where I can find her? Yeah, she just took a gondola to the mainland. What a disappointment, but thank you for your time. I was just heading back to the mainland myself. Anyway, and maybe I'll run into her there. Okay. What the? I took a wrong turn somewhere. Where does this go? Over by the shrine, okay. Okay. She's over here in the darkness.
Its scent is unfamiliar.
Alright. So you are the one Addhiranirr must thank for getting rid of that annoying census and excise agent? Indeed, Addhiranirr is very glad to see you, and very happy to tell a friend of my good friend Caius all about the Six House cult. And Addhiranirr knows nothing about the Addhiranirr, but Addhiranirr is happy to tell you that, too, if that makes Caius happy. Ask away, friend Vidar. Well, tell me about the Six House cult. This Addhiranirr knows about, because it is about smuggling. Some smart smugglers are suddenly too busy for their old clients, because they have a new employer, the Sixth House, who pays very well. But what do they smuggle now? Addhiranirr doesn't know, because they are very secret. This is odd, because these smugglers are always loud and bragging, but now they hush up like little, fat-bellied kittens full of sweet meats. Okay, what about smuggling? Smuggling is big business. The Empire says we can't trade skooma, moon sugar, ebony, Dwemer artifacts, exotic Dunmer weapons and armor, and slaves. So smugglers trade these things. Smugglers also smuggle grief, shine, and sujama to avoid imperial tax. And now the Sixth House hires smugglers, though what they smuggle, Addhiranirr cannot say. Okay. Well, what do you know about the Nerevarine? Yes, Addhiranirr knows this Nerevarine cult is just silly superstition. So you tell Caius this. Nobody in her right mind pays any attention to this moon yowling. Prophecies and ancient heroes reborn and other silliness. Fuzzy tales for little kitties. Okay. Well, what's your background, since we're talking? You are someone that Addhiranirr likes, and so she tells you she is in Thieves' Guild. Does Nord want to hear about Addhiranirr's life? Oh, yeah, sure. Addhiranirr was born in Elsewhere many days ago, and she lived happily as a kit for a long time. Then dark elves from Dress Clan came and killed many of her Khajiit friends, take others back. Addhiranirr is one of those taken. The Dunmer put locks on her arms and made her work in muddy fields all day pulling up rice plants. But Dress are foolish because they think they are too clever. They leave key where she can take it. Addhiranirr escapes but does not know land very well. Alright, well, I'm curious. Addhiranirr has to hide from Dress, who wants to send her back to Fields, and so she hides in boat. The boat goes to Vardenfell, and Khajiit sneak ashore in Ebonheart. She hears about a great city to east called Vivec, and she thinks to herself that such a big place must be filled with great many people. Maybe many Khajiit too, and it will be a good place to hide. Addhiranirr is right, and she also finds it a good place to find valuable things that other people don't like enough to take care of. I see. Go on. One day, nice Redguard man called Stacy meets Addhiranirr and helps her, gives her food and little jobs to do, and tells her about Kamona Tong and Ordinators and how to avoid these unkind people. He makes Addhiranirr a member of Guild. Addhiranirr does not know how Stacy knew about her and does not ask. It is not clever to question good luck too far. Now Addhiranirr helps her friend Stacy in many small ways. Nothing grand, nothing important, but enough to put food in her belly. Alright, what do you think about the Kamona Tong? The Kamona Tong are thieves and smugglers, but they are very bad, very violent. They would try to kill Addhiranirr if they could, or sell her back to the dress. Alright, well, I'll talk to you later, Addhiranirr. Get out of the dark, would you? The dude's gone. He's going back to the mainland. Fucking loud shit. Damn it, I did it again. Okay, we're outside. And let's actually look at the journal. Actually, not the journal. I want to look at Mission to Vivek. Here near Huleeya is an Argonian and a Morag Tong assassin. And look for him in the foreign quarter at the Black Shawl Corner Club. Okay. He's known around Vivek as a lover of books and old things. Okay. So I need to get to the foreign quarter. And I have... Haha, Slowfall wins. Maybe. Yeah, this is the right way. Ah. Beautiful day in Vivek. Lovely banners. You'd think there'd be more people walking around, to be honest. Is this the right place? Or am I just... Yeah, this has got to be the foreign quarter. So he's in the Black Shawl Corner Club. Let's see, they said that's in the Wasteworks somewhere. Oh, this is Telvanni. Damn it, I knew I was in the wrong place. Where's the gondolier at? Yeah, that's the foreign quarter over there. Ah. Daggone it. They do have a gondolier, don't they? Okay, way over there. Hello, warrior.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
So what's the hap, Aaron? Welcome to Vivek. What's your background? I am Addhiranirr, commoner and hireling of the Great House Telvanni. Alright, well... I'll talk to you later. I don't really have anything to talk to you about. Alright. Masera. Please take me to the foreign quarter. Much better. Lower Wasteworks. I think the Black Shulk is one up, isn't it?
Can you ask your question quickly?
Yeah, probably could. Commoner. Wasn't it? Huh. Where the hell is Black Shulk at? Nobleman won't tell me.
What is this about?
Maybe I'm just totally wrong? Huh. Let's go to the plaza. Okay.
Talk
Hey.
is free. What do you want?
Can you tell me where the Black Shulk is? Take this, friend. I think everyone should read this leaflet. It's important information on it. A leaflet has been added to your inventory. Now, who are you? From my childhood, I have been raised in the tradition of publican and innkeeper. My father owned the Singing Lute, an inn in a small town in Hammerfell, where he ran with my mother. Almost from the time I could walk, I contributed what I could and learned the trade for which I seemed destined. But destiny does not always guide us in a straight and certainly not a smooth path. Who the fuck are you? How I came to be in Morrowind is a longer tale. But now that I am here, I hope to return to the trade for which I seemed formed. What is this leaflet? A leaflet. Beware. Have no dealings with Addhiranirr. She is known to both underhanded and unethical in her dealings. The materials she uses are both shoddy and dangerous. You could come to great harm from her products. Her shop should be avoided at all cost. See these testimonials. I took potion and got sick. Lost good lunch. From Grabob G. Her materials looked old and stale. Not good for alchemical use. Darren O. She should be disemboweled and fed to Nyx hounds. Plongar F. Okay. That's fascinating. Thanks for that, pal. Smith.
Do you have something to say, Nor?
Is there something you need?
Yeah, where the fuck is the Black Shulk at? Guild of Mages, definitely not in there. Okay, it must be in the Wasteworks. Must have missed it. Hold the beggar. Doesn't seem to be here. Must be in the lower Wasteworks.
What is this regarding, Lord?
Do you know where the fuck the Black Shulk is? What is this? Oh no, that's the upper Wasteworks. Okay, Enchanter. There's nothing else down that way. Doesn't look like there's anything down there. Okay, we got Apothecary, Addhiranirr. Well, you know what? I'm gonna talk to her about this pamphlet.
Yes, what is it?
Have you heard about this? A fair day to you, Archer. What is your need? I have a wide variety of ingredients available for sale, and all at very respectable prices. I would be truly surprised if you could find a better deal anywhere. Hey, what about this leaflet? You seen this? A leaflet? What's this? This is ridiculous. It's all lies. Why, someone must pay for this. Tell you what, Vidar. If you could find out who is behind this slander, I'll reward you well. Ask whoever gave you this leaflet what's going on. This is an outrage. Okay, yeah, I'll look into it. After I find the frickin' Black Shulk. Jobashas. Alchemist. Oh hey, that thing looks like a shulk. Excuse me. Yep, black shulk, okay. So he's Argonian.
You may speak.
Oh, I may, huh? Hey there, Huleeya. I welcome you as the friend of my friend, Vidar, but I wish to go to my friend's bookstore. And these troublesome fools are in my way. I have tried to persuade them, but they hate my race, and I fear there will be violence. Perhaps if you speak with them, but be careful, and be ready. What are these dudes doing? The sight of a free Argonian offends these racist thugs. It would tarnish my Morag Tong honor to slay them. I don't want to trouble my friend Ceralis Gulms by fighting in his club. But I must go to my friend's bookstore, where we can talk in peace. If you have a way with words, perhaps you can talk to them. Well, not really. Or if you have a way with money, they might be bought. Otherwise, I fear there must be bloodshed. I see. Okay. Who are they? Is it this guy? No, it's not you. How about you? Shut up and butt out, Outlander. It's the filthy lizard we're talking to, not you. What about the filthy lizard? This rotting piece of trash ought to be chained up somewhere, not running around loose. Aren't you a lovable fellow? I'm glad to see your thoughts are where they belong. Business is the lifeblood of Hlaalu. If you're looking to conduct some business for House Hlaalu, you should go see Crassius Curio. He lives in a grand manor atop the Hlaalu Canton. There's also Addhiranirr in the Hlaalu Wasteworks. Okay, but actually... maybe it's this guy. Get out of our way, Inwa. We got issues with this filthy lizard. His kind ain't welcome here. He belongs in the swamp with the rest of them. Well... You show respect, Nora. Do not flatter me. His kind aren't welcome here. Is there anything else I could ask him about? He can talk about a whole lot of crap, can't he? What are the latest rumors? I'll tell you a rumor. There's a rumor that if you don't get the message and leave me alone, you and I are gonna have a problem. Take a look around. Number of us, number of you. Not looking good, is it? So I'm gonna say this real slowly, and I'm only gonna say it once. Leave. Now. So it's these two. Are you one of them? No, you're just a rogue. Goodbye. So it's just these two goons? Or wait, maybe this guy.
Dirt everywhere. Dirt.
Am I talking to you, Fetcher? No, I'm talking to the filthy lizard, so push off. What are you, some kind of filthy lizard lover? You want to give your little friend a big kiss? What are you after, Nord? I know you're trying to flatter me. There, how about $10? You are generous, Vidar, and your judgment is good. So, blah blah blah. He can stay here forever for all I care, not my problem. Okay. I spoke with the troublesome fools bothering Huleeya, and they agreed to leave him alone. Oh, all it cost was $10. Hey, good news, bud. Yes, let us travel together to Jobash's. Will you travel with me to Jobash's rare books? We leave through the door to the foreign quarter wasteworks, turn right, west, continue down the hall and across the atrium on the same level, then follow the opposite corridor west on the other side of the atrium all the way to Jobash's door. I must warn you, unless these troublesome fools are persuaded to behave like civilized beings, there may be fighting and killing if we try to travel together. Yes, go ahead, I bought him off. Thank you, Vidar. I will follow you.
What do you think of our city, Outlander?
It's not too bad. Is he going to be able to get through that? Okay, good. Alright, amigo. We made it. Yes, thank you very much. We should be free from distraction here. Now, I said I'd tell you about the Nerevarine cult, so you can report back to Caius, and I don't know of any Sixth House cult, but I can tell you what I do know. Alright, well, tell me what you don't know about the Sixth House. I've never heard of such a thing. House Dagoth was the Sixth House, but in the War of the First Council, they betrayed the other great houses and were destroyed for their treason. But I've never heard of anyone worshipping them. Dagoth Or, the ancient head of House Dagoth, is the devil of the tribunal faith, but I've never heard of anyone worshipping him either. Okay. Well, what about the Nerevarine cult? To understand the Nerevarine cult, you must understand the history of the Ashlanders. Nerevar means something very different to the Ashlanders from what he means to Dunmer of the Great Houses. You should also know about the persecution of the Nerevarine and the legacy of the false incarnate, for the Nerevarine cult is at the heart of the ancient conflict between the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Great House Dunmer. Here's a summary for Caius, but ask your questions and I'll answer in detail. Okay, let's start with the history of the Ashlanders. In the First Era, the nomadic Ashlanders and the settled Dunmer clans were much alike, but after the First Council and the formation of the Great Houses, Ashlanders have been steadily forced into the poorest and most hostile lands. Now the nomadic tribes look to the prophesied return of Nerevar for a restoration of their ancient rites and religious traditions. Okay. Now, what about the persecution of the Nerevarine? The temple treats the Nerevarine prophecies as heresy, and the temple imprisons and executes heretics, unless prevented by imperial law. But since the Nerevarine cult is hostile to the Empire does not interfere when the temple persecutes the cult. Ashlanders hate the temple, and particularly the Ordinators, for their ruthless treatment of Nerevarine cultists. Okay, I don't think I asked you about the Nerevarine cult. I gave you a summary for Caius. Feel free to read it, of course. What about Ashlanders? The Ashlanders hate the House Dunmer, who have become soft, and who have abandoned traditional ancestor worship for the gods of the Tribunal. And the Ashlanders hate Outlanders, who invaded and stole their land, and forced them to live as a subject people. A reborn Nerevar, who could drive out the Outlander invaders, destroy the false worship of the Tribunal, and restore the pure traditional life and faith of the nomads, would be a very popular hero to the Ashlanders. Let's see. Now, what was these other things? We got... Okay, I asked the persecution. And how about the false incarnate? In the past, some have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a figure of legend among the waste tribes for the last 30 years. The temple says these false incarnates disprove the prophecies, since the false incarnates fail and come to nothing. But the mystical Nerevarine cult glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions, citing the appearance of failed incarnates as certain proof of Nerevar's coming rebirth. Okay, that's a way to go. Oh, I guess that's that. What do you know about disturbing dreams? I'm sorry, I don't know why you tell me this. In the old country, they'd set great store by dreams and omens, but I'm an educated creature. Dreams mean nothing. They are just fancies, imagination. Alright, well, what about being an Argonian? Outside the Black Marsh, we are regarded as cold-blooded, impassionate creatures lacking a proper sense of compassion necessary to hold a society together. While that misconception may recommend me to my trade, it is not true of our race in general. We have a strong family and clan ties, and great love for one another, and all races for that matter. Perhaps it is this perception that we are unfeeling beasts that has made us the target of slave traders. They cannot know the pain they inflict in tearing one of us from our family, and surely could not have the heart for their trade. Okay. Oh, what do you sell? picks. Okay. Alright, thanks, Huleeya. It's good talking to you. I suppose I should probably read the notes that he gave me. Paper. Notes from Huleeya. The following are Huleeya's notes for Caius Cusades, the history of the Ashlanders and the Nerevarine cult. In the First Era, barbaric Dunmer culture, settled Dunmer clans, the great houses, and nomadic Dunmer tribes, like the Ashlanders, were roughly equal in numbers and wealth. Under the civilized peace of the Grand Council, and with the strong central authority of the Temple, the economic and military power of the settled Dunmer quickly outstripped that of the nomadic Dunmer. The nomadic Dunmer were marginalized into the poorest, most hostile land, in particular into the Vardenfell wastes. For the Ashlanders, the return of the reincarnated Nerevar represents a longed-for and largely romanticized golden age of Nerevar's peace, when the nomadic tribes enjoyed equality with the settled Dunmer, and before the Dunmer people had for the most part abandoned traditional ancestor worship for the autocratic theocracy of the Tribunal Temple. The Nerevar of the Ashlanders. This is the story of Nerevar as an Ashlander might tell it. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of Outlanders from the west came to steal the land of the Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and war leader of the House people, but he honored the ancient spirits of the tribal law and became as one of us. So when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors, one clan under moon and star, to honor the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the House people to fight a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many Dunmer, tribesmen, and housemen died at Red Mountain, the Dwemer were defeated and their evil magics destroyed, and the Outlanders driven from the land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nerevar in secret, and, setting themselves up as gods, neglected Nerevar's promises to the tribes. But it is said that Nerevar will come again with his ring, and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring will make good his promises to the tribes, to honor the spirits and drive the outsiders from the land. Persecution of the Nerevarine cult. The Tribunal Temple regards the mysticism and prophecy of the Nerevarine cult as primitive superstition. The Ashlander ancestor cults, and the Nerevarine in particular, have always decried the worship of living Dunmer as abominations, suspecting the unnatural lifetime of the Tribunal to be signs of profane sorcery or necromancy. Though the authoritarian, intolerant temple priesthood has always been inclined to tolerate Ashlander ancestor cult practices, they have always threatened Nerevarine claimants with death or imprisonment. And while generally tolerant of various cult worships, the Imperial Commission of the Occupation outlaws cults hostile to the Emperor and the Empire, and threatens members of such cults with imprisonment or death. The Ordinators are allowed a free hand when dealing with outlawed cults like the Nerevarine, Peakstar, and other incarnates in the past. In the past, others have claimed to be the reincarnated Nerevar of prophecy. The most recent is known as Peakstar, a mysterious figure who has reportedly appeared and disappeared among the waste tribes over the last 30 years. The temple notes that these false incarnates discredit the Nerevarine prophecies. Singularly and illogically, the Ashlanders acknowledge a history of false claimants, calling them failed incarnates. But they regard them as proof of the validity of the prophecies rather than contradiction. Among the Nerevarine, there is a fable of a cavern of the incarnates, where the spirits of the failed incarnates dwell. The Nerevarine cult is a mystical cult, and it glorifies rather than shrinks from contradictions. I see. I don't suppose that... Yeah, Addhiranirr didn't give me any papers. Alright, so the next step is to go talk to Mara Milo,